Okay, just 5-second rule before he.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Ann Arbor Human Rights Commission, calling to order. Kennedy, a roll call?
Yes. Just 1 second. Chair Stanball,
Yes. Here.
Vice Chair Garber,
Here?
Commissioner Winkler,
Here.
Commissioner Meadows, Commissioner Cohen,
Here.
Commissioner Bond,
Here.
Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Noel, Commissioner Lane,
Here.
Councilmember Edwin, Councilmember Watson, and of course.
Good. Public comment, agenda. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Discussion. I have one change in the agenda. I'm going to add a meeting with the police chief before the as the first thing under old business. Any more discussion?
Really quick, could we clarify what creating an online library for HRC, is that the same as the drive?
Yes.
Okay, I just wasn't sure what the library word, but that works.
Yeah, and thank you.
Yes, then thank you for doing it. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Okay.
We need a vote.
Public comment?
We need a
No, we
vote.
need a vote.
Oh,
Yes.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Public comments.
we do not have anyone here for public comment at this time.
Good. City council overview.
Meeting minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry,
minutes.
meeting minutes, yes. Don't know why this is so difficult. Can we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I'll move to approve the
I'll
meeting.
second
second.
that.
Any discussion about the meeting minutes?
Does that mean we have to like formally change the agenda?
No.
Okay. Because the minutes aren't listed on there? I didn't know.
Aren't the minutes listed on there?
Under internal business.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
yeah, I just meant about this. I didn't know if this was... Okay, I'm sorry. Still learning.
No, it's okay.
Discussion about the minutes. Anybody have any problems with the minutes? Nothing? All in favor of vote?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
We missed a meeting. I can't even remember how to do this anymore.
Now that the rules of order are, too much pressure.
All in favor, everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay. Just a comment about the minutes, not that there's anything wrong with the minutes, but I just wanted you to know, since their minutes were, since we did not have an August meeting, and if some people may have been wondering what happened to the Pride Festival, that we were waiting for some information on, and we did not get in. That was, we were on a waiting list. We did not get in. One of the things we have to remember is if we really want to do this, we probably have to apply earlier next time. Did anybody go to the Pride Festival? Did you? So you have some sense of what
It
it's
was
like.
really big. It was almost too big, I think. I think we might have gotten lost in the crowd, but it still would be. Depends how much it costs, honestly.
We don't even know that, do we?
No, we don't.
They never said, gave us any information at all, and didn't tell us till never told us, as a matter of fact. Did they, Kennedy, did they ever cut back to us and say we did not get approved? They told us we were waiting.
I told you that we didn't get approved. I emailed
Yeah.
you and Judah. Judah
Yep.
followed up and sent a response to everybody letting them know that we weren't selected as a
Okay.
vendor.
That must have been near the last day,
No, it was
At
early
least a
on.
week or so before.
a week.
Yeah.
But we
Maybe
need
two.
a lot more time.
I can
than
pull
two.
it up actually on my
No,
computer if you want.
it's not that important.
I don't think it was.
But I just wanted you to know that it was
Yeah.
it would have been hard for us to respond at that point. We couldn't approve the funds. We couldn't get a table. We
Right.
couldn't.
Yeah.
It
So
would be nice to know in advance how much these things cost.
They
don't. I looked all over the
That
website. I
doesn't-
couldn't get the
doesn't seem
information.
unreasonable.
No,
So yeah, it
doesn't.
was July 29th that I said that.
yeah, well, the
Yeah,
thing was August
like 2
2nd, I
days
think,
before,
wasn't it?
yeah.
I mean,
It was on the 2nd, I think.
yeah. So I mean, it's like they gave us 2 days. That was not going to be enough for us.
Well, I think they had let us, didn't they let us
They let us know earlier that we
were on
weren't
the wait
selected, and then
list?
we were on a waiting list,
So I
and then
think
they
at that point,
verified.
we
I
just
see.
figured we weren't gonna.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, I think that's all that was questioned about that. City council, our 2 city council people are not here, but I did talk to them both, and they gave me some ideas of what they were going to say, so I'm going to say them to you. Chris said they've had a couple of really short meetings. There's not a lot going on. It's, of course, the end of summer, and it's not going to happen. But he did point out, and thought we would be interested in knowing, that the contingency fund that was set aside in May for the possibility that the administration would would have some programs unfunded. And this was to cover it. They left, I think, $1 million to cover that. And the money has been allotted for 3 separate things. A third of it will go to Food and Helping Community Action Network and those kinds of organizations.
Yeah, can you speak
Oh,
up?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe you should.
A third of it is going to Food and Helping Community Action Community Action and those kinds of nonprofits to provide food for people who need it. A third of it's going to go to shelters, preventing evictions, housing for low-income people. And the last third is going to go to substance abuse and mental health problems. And one thing that occurs to me is, because it's sort of left out, and because I think we didn't realize how much healthcare coverage is going to be needed, lost for people, and I don't know how that's going to be handled. But that is a question. Aisha wanted us to think about the housing database that she's been working on. Something she would like to see supported. Maybe she'd like to see us make a resolution. She didn't say, but it's possible.
Sorry.
Her logic, and I can't talk about this, so I don't think we're going to do it today, but we may be looking for it. She's evidently doesn't have as much. I don't think they don't know who's going to do it so that it's not so expensive. And what they've looked into so far is expensive. But the logic behind this is that housing is a big problem in Ann Arbor, and it's evidently lack of inventory, high prices, and problems with vouchers and Section 8 and that strange place it's in now, landlord pushback, things that we know about. That's the second big reason. And the third reason for the housing problem, she thinks, are difficulties that people have in finding housing. They don't know where to go. There's not one single place. There are lots of places. A lot of them don't say what they do and what they don't do, or what accommodations they have if you have disabilities or something. And so they're looking for some way to make that easier, and that might help the housing problem. So she's very excited about that. And
Can I ask a question? Is there a particular population that she's targeting, or just every renter in the area?
I think she's thinking it's going to be online and it's going to be available to everybody. She knows there's some privacy issues, or that at least those have been raised. And it's probably, you might need a person who just deals with it. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I want you to know it's being thought about.
Okay.
Aisha also mentioned that maybe somebody should explore the impact that U of M's decision not to provide gender-affirming care to minors in Ann Arbor. What is the impact of that? When Judah and I went to the Jim Toy, remember that event we had? There were a lot of people there who were like parents of gay children. And they talked a lot about how there's a really careful balance of hormones, gender-affirming hormones that are needed. And I don't know how this is going to affect them. But she'd like to know. Somebody ought to know. I got to call into some people who might help us, but I don't know.
It's an interesting question I wanted to raise. The hospital is in Ann Arbor. How does their new policy interact with the non-discrimination ordinance?
My understanding is that a city ordinance does not cover a state institution like the University of Michigan. Which doesn't mean we can't ask questions. Yeah, I think the hospital is part of the university, and it's a state entity, and that's my understanding.
Okay.
Because we've had other issues like First Amendment issues or discrimination types of issues raised about things that happen on campus. And I know, talking to the city attorney, their first question was, was it, which side of State Street was it on? Kind of thing. I mean... Okay.
No,
but it's a question worth asking, and are Ann Arbor residents being impacted? I mean, I'm sure it's much broader than Ann Arbor, but
I guess I thought because it is a violation of state law. I mean, I know they can develop whatever policies they want, but we could at least. Not us per se, but the city could call them out for it. I mean, I think push, you know what I mean? Just sort of publicize the fact that while we have to accept their decision, we want everyone, it is a violation, or we think it is, or
and one wonders, I think that there are small groups that are doing the actual delivering of these.
Well, that would be interesting to know if they've actually farmed out the services somehow and made sure that all these kids have.
Because I did talk to a lot of parents of gay, of people who are undergoing, parents of kids who are undergoing transitions, and I think I remember that there was that the services were not being provided. You didn't have to go to the hospital every time. That they were being provided by some other kinds of nonprofit.
Oh, like University of Michigan is paying a different institution to pay?
I don't know it, but my guess is University of Michigan is overseeing it in some way. You don't think so? I don't know.
If they are, they'd have to do it quietly.
Yeah.
In fact,
Because it most likely, I would assume, be like referrals out to them or to other specialists and stuff.
I received a letter from the University of Michigan Hospital clarifying that they no longer provide that to juveniles, and there was no statement about an alternative or funded.
I think
clinic.
If there was that information, that puts a target on whoever's providing that service as well too. So I think it might, if that is happening, is probably just keep it with trusted communities so that it doesn't.
But I am in that community. That's why they sent me the letter, right? Because you guys did you? Right? I didn't think you were sending it out.
I meant more so of, I guess, like the trans community in general, like queer community, like they might, have different communication lines.
No, I am in the trans community.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Right. And received care at the University of Michigan.
Okay.
Right.
Have you called to find out more?
I was there and confirmed with the doctor. And she said absolutely that they've been told no more.
and were they told that they couldn't talk to people who help any group that wanted to?
I'm sorry.
Were they? did they tell you that they told you they couldn't provide it, but could they help other people provide it?
She did not suggest in any way
Okay.
that it was anything
probably
other than an
wouldn't.
emphatic, everyone stop providing, gender-affirming care to minors.
To minors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she didn't
Without-
give any alternatives. Like you said, they didn't recommend any other place for you to look.
Nope.
That's really crazy.
And, it wasn't, I would have thought if there was an alternative or referral, that would have been the next. Like, but don't worry, everyone's receiving care because
I
we're...
thought it sort of said that in their statement. Like, we're working with the patients to make sure that there was some kind of statement.
The surgeon said that they were
Okay.
told to
Wow,
cease
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah.
sign.
Just like as a general question with it too, like in relation to discrimination, I guess if it is, since it's considered a, what's it called? I'm gonna lose all my words. Not like a medical procedure, but a medical service or health service. Is it still, I guess, considered discrimination if they just aren't doing that service at all? Like
This
that's
is-
the part I'm confused about.
This was talking about they stopped providing puberty blockers and gender-affirming therapy to patients,
To minors.
to minors.
Yeah. So it's
But-
just like since I guess that's not.
So therapy, they're not saying
They
surgery.
never did surgery, apparently.
They never did surgery, okay.
They said.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess that's just I don't know, something I'll look into.
It is something. So
I mean,
one
you
of the
can
things,
suggest that to these students as one of the,
That would be interesting.
as one of these
project, right?
topics.
Chase it down, that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how the school social work would feel about that, but
they might.
Be good.
at least know what the impact is.
Yeah. Yeah,
That would be.
That's a good
That
idea.
would be great for us to know.
yes,
That would be perfect use.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, Chris suggested that we have this segment of the meeting at the end because he thought sometimes this seems to get in the way of our meetings.
Which segment?
Report from City Council.
There's a suggestion that what happened?
That we put that instead of it at the first of the meeting, it could be at the end of the meeting.
When Aisha and
Are here.
Are here. That's fine.
Yeah, if that's
whatever.
what the council
Sure, if
members
they're
want,
fine
that's
with
fine
it.
with
But
me.
that's, I don't know if they want it, they thought it would be,
Right, they'd rather.
it may be more smooth
Okay.
flowing.
That's fine.
Whatever
Here with
they'd
the
rather.
schedule.
Try it.
Okay.
Right.
So that's that. City
It kind of
Council.
goes with, actually, sorry to interrupt, commissioner communications, so you could have city council down at the bottom. Makes sense.
Yep.
You've got
city
commissioner
council and-
communications.
Well, not
Commission.
really, because they're not commissioners.
No, you would
add
put
one.
another,
Oh, I
you would
see.
put
City
city
council
council
and-
liaison commission,
That's true.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only thing is sometimes we want to talk about it, but we can still talk
oh,
about it.
that's true.
Well, doesn't matter.
Talk about it after they
Yeah,
Okay, can do that.
announce it.
So I'm going to do it next time.
okay, thank you.
Old business.
Oh,
You
no.
skipped.
Follow up on ongoing HRC work due to complaints
Yep.
and
Thank you.
ceremony.
So, yeah, last week, I represented the commission at a unveiling of a plaque, which is now in front of City Hall, to commemorate the city council members, the first city council members or elected officials in the United States that were openly LGBT, or that term wasn't used back then, but this was in 1972. It's a nice event. There was about 100 people, and two of those two council members were present. One came in from LA and the other from
both of them.
Pittsburgh.
I'll
And
prove
Kathleen Kozachenko, who was the first person who ran as an openly gay lesbian person, wasn't able to attend. But the two council members who were on council and then came out while they were on council were there. So I'll read the plaque, and it's inscribed in aluminum, which apparently is more lasting than bronze. and less expensive. In October 1973, the Ann Arbor City Council debated the city's failure to prosecute lesbian and gay discrimination under its landmark 1972 Human Rights Ordinance. I believe that's the same ordinance under which we serve here
But we're
today.
not sure yet.
It is.
It's got to
It
be.
is. It's just a question of the date. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we hope that's the right date because it's written in aluminum. Council members, and not aluminum foil, but like engraved. There's a foundry in southern Ohio that does all the plaques for the United States and Canada, apparently.
Oh, really?
They specialize, and it's a very time-consuming process, and you got to get it right to the comma, or you can't fix it. Anyway, council members Nancy Wexler and Jerry DeGreek came out as lesbian and gay, respectively, in order to emphasize the importance of active enforcement under the law. They were the first elected officials holding public office to come out as LGBTQ+ in the United States. Harvey Milk was like later, 1978, I think, in San Francisco. Neither sought re-election, but Kathleen Kozachenko, a 21-year-old University of Michigan student, campaigned for Wexler's Ward 2 seat as an openly lesbian woman. She won the position on April 2nd, 1974 by 52 votes, becoming the first openly LGBTQ+ candidate elected to a public office in the United States. University of Michigan student Jerry DeGreek and recent graduate Nancy Wexler, representing the Human Rights Party, won seats on the Ann Arbor City Council in 1972. While in office, they worked with LGBTQ+ rights pioneer Jim Toy to author and introduce the Lesbian Gay Pride Week resolution, the first of its kind passed by any governing body in the country. So we had the first Pride Week. Wexler and DeGreek also initiated the Human Rights Ordinance passed by the City Council on July 10th, 1972. With it, Ann Arbor joined East Lansing to become the first city in the United States to protect LGBTQ+ community members from housing discrimination. The council extended the ordinance in December 1972 to include protections for employment and other public accommodations. So that's what the plaque reads. You can read it for yourself. It's right out there in front of City Hall. Apparently, it's the only plaque of the over 1,000, I can't remember the exact number, 1,600 plaques or whatever in Michigan that recognizes LGBTQ anything. So it was about time, and we got it.
That's
So
good. And they're talking about a life-size statue of Kathy Kozachenko.
oh, okay.
That sounds like it's $100,000 and they're trying to raise money, but that's in the plans.
And she was here, right?
And she was here. I met her.
No, she couldn't come.
Oh, she couldn't come?
She was one who couldn't come. The other,
the
Nancy
other
Wexler and Jerry DeGreek
Yeah.
came, but Kathleen Kozachenko
Could not.
make it. I think it was a health issue or something.
Oh, okay.
So it was a nice event. About 100 people were there, and good weather.
And thank you for representing us.
And then complaints? Complaints?
Complaints. Next
Yes.
item. Yes. I believe we have 5. Yes.
And can I tag team after you? Because I've got a complaint also
Oh,
for the ID project. But it doesn't come in through, people aren't comfortable still reporting through the city system. So I've kept that app active.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please talk about that when you're...
okay. Well, I'll just give a
Yeah.
quick report. We have
Yeah.
5 outstanding complaints. 2 came in since our last meeting. They're being addressed. If there's a theme lately, it's housing. It's Section 8 housing, people who are feeling that they're getting discriminatory treatment by landlords because of their status as Section 8 housing recipients. And that's certainly their feeling. So those are being worked on. And then the 2 of the other 5 are, I believe they're substantively resolved, but we haven't formally resolved them. And so we can do an update next month.
I have a question for you. I think housing has been all over the place, and Section 8 housing in Michigan has been questioned. I think they stopped it for a while and they brought it back. I don't know, but they didn't have enough money to fund their part of it, something like that. I'm wondering if we shouldn't have a housing person talk to us about vouchers, housing, Section 8, and because we're getting so many complaints that I'd like to feel like we know the latest information about how to deal with them. Are people comfortable with that next time?
Sure.
I'll try to get it. Okay.
I mean, I think ideally someone from the Housing Commission,
Yes,
right?
that's what I was
Because they
thinking.
administer it, right?
Absolutely.
Although there are a number of different voucher programs, I think.
But they all have to go through the Housing Commission.
Do they? That's
think.
what I don't know.
I think.
Yeah,
Has
okay,
to.
so it would be good to know that.
Most of them go
And
through.
they've been helpful in advising us on these cases.
Right.
But certainly we could use more.
And I think we want to know, do landlords actually know that they have to accept Section 8 vouchers? Because it's not clear to me that the word is completely out there. Certainly with smaller landlords, I don't know. They might know though.
And it's not clear. Some things are going on at the HUD level that makes me. I thought I heard that HUD was going to be limited with
Yeah,
that.
could
So
be.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, great.
Did you have more on that?
Yes.
So there's a bar club on called the Alleys in West Washington, West Liberty, that refused to accept the ID at night and refused to accept an international passport
Oh my goodness.
As proof of age.
in order to enter. And so I dropped by twice because I like to talk to people in person, but I haven't yet been able to catch the decision maker. You know, the folks at the door are just doing what they were told to do, they said. But I did talk to one who was very sympathetic, and
Boy,
they
not
have,
taking
I
a
guess they don't have
passport was
frequent
really weird.
staff meetings.
Not taking a passport. I can.
Well, both. I mean,
Well, yeah, but usually the passport is always accepted, isn't it?
no. The international students have a lot of problems.
No
This
kidding.
isn't the first refusal of an international passport that I've heard of. It's not as frequent, but it happens regularly enough.
Huh.
Does this person want to be anonymous?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay, can you just write up
Yes.
something without the name, maybe? You know,
Yes.
just so we have it?
Yep, I will.
Especially because it's good to know what the establishment is, right, in case there are repeat
Right, I will.
complaints. Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, we should have a record of
The
complaint.
follow-up question I have was, because a passport was excluded, you know, would that fall to us, or do we pass that to the city attorney? I mean, I wasn't sure if we go as broad as a federal document.
What is it?
I mean, it
It
is still ID
what was-
discrimination, but
What was there a possible reason that the passport wasn't accepted? I mean, was it a passport from a very strange country?
no, I mean, it was, you know, I forget what country. South American country, maybe?
Okay.
But don't even quote me on that. I should be looking right at it. But
Because
it was
that-
a passport and it was valid, date-wise.
And it wasn't like a printout or anything?
No, dies. It was a passport.
Okay.
I don't
That
know.
one, I think we should ask Marky about that.
Well, or we can just stick to it shouldn't have mattered.
I know.
No, that's right.
So I think we should just stick to the local
Okay.
ID because our ordinance protects, you know, I think
Yeah,
that's supposed
forms
to
of
work.
ID.
Yeah. Let's start there, don't you think?
Maybe, but maybe isn't discrimination based on nationality prohibited?
Yes.
So that would come under there.
No, I think so.
Arguably.
That's true.
I think
Yeah.
That's
so.
true. As opposed to
I'll,
ID.
once I track down a manager,
Okay.
if anybody would want a broader meeting, because managers are usually pretty good when you show them the statute about changing.
Yeah.
I guess if we wanted to have a broader discussion about, you know, it is troubling.
Unless there was
the-
some other
the
reason they
passport.
didn't want that person in, and they were kind of using that as an excuse. So that's what you mean.
But it was
I mean, you know, there might be another side to the story.
well, but it is always, I think, I know, and,
Yeah,
we're always talking about
Right,
yeah,
right.
like,
I don't know,
absolutely,
but yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like in other countries, like the dates are flipped and stuff too. So
Well,
I
it
don't
was
know.
at the
Like,
same
it's-
location, same time that the ID was turned down. So I leaned more in your direction, like something about the doorkeeper or the group,
Right.
or the interaction maybe.
Right.
Maybe there'd been trouble before. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know any details.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's find out.
Yeah, that's interesting. But thank you for taking it, for telling us about it.
Yeah.
Because it should be one of ours.
Yeah.
Okay,
Old business, AAPD meeting, Leslie?
yes. Judah, Linda, Pam, and I met with we were to meet with the deputy.
Speak up for.
We were to meet with Chief of Police Andre Anderson, and we ended up meeting with the Deputy Chief Patrick McGuire this month, and and two things came out of that. Not two things of interest. One was about the No Kings demonstration that we had a while back, and we're going to have one again, so it's kind of pertinent.
Point of clarification, I'm sorry. Was the meeting this month or last month?
Was
August,
what?
August or September?
It was
August.
It was August.
It was August?
It was August. It was
Okay.
the end of August.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. More people came than expected, but it was peaceful. And the feedback was that the participation of the police was generally considered very supportive and helpful. There is going to be another one, is that true?
Yes, October 18th.
October 18th is the National Day, and there might be there'll be events locally on that day and possibly on the 19th. That's to be determined.
Okay. So either on the 18th or the 19th?
There will be definitely some on the 18th and possibly also on the 19th.
Ah. You want to say why?
Because there's a
there's
football
game.
game.
It's a football home game on the
It's going to be a
18th.
mess.
Yeah.
And so if they
So if you want to get a mass of people, it's hard to do that on a day when.
and the police wouldn't be available to
Right.
assist like they were last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And we'll really need the police there, I assume, because if it's 7,000 people again, that's a lot of people to deal with. Also, the AAPD urged us to let people know that the AAPD is not involved in enforcement of the immigration law. They handle problems like theft, harassment, and threats to physical safety, and if you or anyone you know, you being the television audience or people here, feel threatened by criminal activity, please report it to the police. They need to know because they want to keep us all safe. I think we are now at progress reports.
Orientation program?
I guess
the
that's
first
me.
of the progress.
So,
Maybe I should just, yeah.
so I put together the beginning of it. It's less of an orientation manual. It's more of a compilation of everything I can think of that we've learned, basically, or need to know. Vanessa pointed out, I got feedback from Vanessa, a little bit from Leslie. She looked at what I did, and she created a few sort of introductory charts, which I think makes sense, especially for visual learners. I tend to be very narrative in the way I explain things. But I think combining her approach, hopefully with mine, would work well. So I was hoping she'd be here tonight, but my thought was I would take what I've done, keep it in a separate Google Doc, and then let her and whoever else wants to make it more orientation user-friendly for newbies by adding those things or doing whatever they want. I think even though, again, because I'm not going to be on the Human Rights Commission forever, even though I've been on forever, I want to make sure before I leave that all the knowledge that we've gained is in one place, and and also because we've now taken a lot of it off of the website, I wanted it to be somewhere. But I see that for somebody coming in new, they might like an overview, and then if they want to learn more, they can read more as they go. And if anybody else has comments, feel free to send to me, to Vanessa, whatever. And I've only sent it really to the new people. I haven't sent it to everybody. But
You know what
I
else
could
I
at
think
some
we
point.
need? I think that's really very valuable. And what else, the other thing we need is a table of contents
Yes.
that includes everything, including things that aren't in there. But where are they? Or there should be a table of contents.
Oh, for
of
sure,
things, even
definitely.
even
Yeah, table of contents.
Of
and-
things that are important.
Yeah, for sure. And Leslie pointed out that I should add a section on the Open Meetings Act,
Okay.
mention something about Robert's Rules, which I didn't, just all of it, just put it all there.
And our bylaws.
There's a section on freedom of information, because we have to be mindful of what can be asked for and made public, all of that.
I guess for like Robert's law and like all of that stuff, is there anything that is already created that can just
There-
Yeah,
there is
obviously
a
don't
lot
have
for
to.
that.
Yes, oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
just
I'm
like-
not going to try
Yeah.
to write that.
Including
There
the
must
city.
be some handbook
There's
out there.
a city council
Yeah, Leslie said she'd seen
Yeah.
something.
manual.
Yeah.
I know, I don't know if they did it again this year, but they had the orientation for like commissioners. So like, I think there's probably some stuff that's already
Oh,
there, but I haven't heard anything.
What orientation for
you had an
commissioners?
orientation? Or did
I
they
heard about it.
Who does it?
No.
No, I don't.
I did not hear about
I
it.
think does it is
Sarah?
No, lawyer, the lawyer who does Open Meetings Act.
Oh,
I'll bet.
but they probably do have materials, which actually we should
That's right.
get.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's a
I
good
can
idea.
ask. Yeah, I can ask.
Yeah, just trying to take some
No,
of the
no,
work
yeah.
off.
No, right, I wasn't, because I don't know anything
Yeah.
about really the Open Meetings Act. Yeah, I was just going to find a link somewhere and include it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked through the information. I didn't get a chance to give feedback, but yeah,
That's fine.
I definitely think it's really helpful, and definitely agree with Vanessa's piece as well too. Of if this can be like the high level like presentation,
Right.
something like that could hopefully be helpful. And then like you said, like link it out to like the longer, or even like in speaker notes to have like the extended version or something. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with it. It's just
Okay.
iterate.
Yeah, and yeah. I also, if we're having charts, I'm not good with making charts, so Vanessa clearly is. So whoever's good with those things, they can, yeah. Okay, thanks.
And promotional activity that has to do with Pam, who put us on CTN. Has anybody seen it?
Yes, so it is live on CTN. It is there. It was actually offered to all other commissions as well because HRC was the first commission to have their meeting posted on CTN. So
Wow.
you guys spearheaded an opportunity for other commissions to create a electric bulletin that broadcasts, give them information about their meetings and things like that. So
Great.
it's
Does it
live.
look
and-
good?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Good.
Just go Pam.
Okay, good, Pam. We should take a look at it. Creating an online library for the HRC. You want to say something about that?
So I just sent it out earlier before the meeting. There's not too much there, so end up making a just like separate email for it. So it's just Google Drive. Again, like when I made the implementation plan, it's not meant to have like personal or confidential language. It's just anything that's very general. So whether it's different templates for meeting notes or communication outreach stuff of that nature as well too. The published ordinances, resolutions, it can all just be there in one space. And then I am working on making a table of contents because I know people don't like clicking through so many folders and all of that. So I'm hoping to have it all just listed out in a document so you just go there. And then I'm trying to work on the naming conventions and all of that so that it's easy to understand what everything is. And then you can just click on the link and it should take you to that folder. I'm not going to do documents because that's going to be a lot. But hopefully this will be a good start. I have another document in here that has the email, the email information, both what it is, but also the password as well too. But I'm going to continue to try to add some things to it. Everyone else can look at it, give some information as well too. But hopefully, like even with the orientation document, that could hopefully be somewhere in like commissioner development. I have one specifically for onboarding. So any updates can be add it there. And then since it's using Google like Docs and all of that, at least for some of the documents, we don't have to create completely new documents as well too. So if there's updates to the agenda before the meeting, maybe it's just like an email that says, hey, there's been a slight change, but it can just be made directly in it. So we don't have to have like documents everywhere as well too. I'm going to make a section on the table of content that also has just like background on the different tools and trainings. I know like that was something that people have asked for as well too. So I have those outlined in another document. So I just gotta move that over, that people can watch videos and do whatever else they need to get comfortable with it. It's usually pretty user-friendly. It's pretty similar to Word, Excel, all of that. Just some slight differences, but yeah, it should hopefully be pretty easy to navigate.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is it segmented into chapters or pieces at all? Can it be?
What do you mean by that?
Well, first of all, I know one thing that I'd like to put in there is what I call the library, that has to do with all these files that we're getting from the social work school and any background information for anybody doing research.
Yes.
But I don't want it to be near everything else because
It's too much.
it's too much.
Yes, we can make folders, and we're all editors on it. So I have a folder within a folder for presentation. So I have one for community presentation. So if we're ever doing one and create one that goes out to the community, it would go in that folder. And I have one for student presentations as well. So all of their materials, presentations, whatever else.
So we can call these student presentations.
Yeah, that will all just go in that folder, and then we just separate it by year.
And we wouldn't want to edit those necessarily, unless we found something wrong.
No, just add to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that one, I think it's just whatever we get,
Right.
we just add it there. So even with like the ideas for student projects fall 2024, that could just be in that folder there. And then we can either separate it by the year that we got it or by the project theme, if it's policing or housing.
Yes,
or
I think
so.
that makes sense.
Yeah, whichever way we want to do it, but I just want to get something out there. But yeah, that's basically
right.
it.
I have
It should
a question.
hopefully. Yeah.
If I were to gain access to that, put on my computer, would that mean I have no more space left for anything else in my Google Drive?
No, this is a completely separate one, so they have their own. It has its own memory.
So you don't
You don't
download it.
download it in any way?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just have access to it?
Yes, so
Okay.
you can like log on online. And you
Okay.
can drive a
Okay.
thing, like I don't know what it's
Can you
called, like
copy
an
it?
icon over.
Can you copy your file?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we have 15 gigabytes of space in it, so I'm pretty sure that's a lot.
And so, the annual reports would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a separate folder.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's going to be great. We probably want some things that can't be edited. Like you wouldn't want to edit an annual report from a year past, for example. It's a year.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want.
You can do
It's a
PDF on whatever.
Okay.
It's in
Yeah.
PDF, yeah.
PDF, okay.
Yeah, because you can upload.
I
just
see.
about
So
anything.
you upload it and you keep whatever it is, a PDF or a docs
Yeah.
or something.
So you can do docs, spreadsheets, PDFs, photos, videos, forms,
Great.
all of that. So it should hopefully capture anything that we need. But yeah.
But you cannot, Kennedy, you can't have access.
I can. You can just add my
You
city.
can have
email.
access, but the city, but it doesn't become part of the city's
Nope.
anything.
Mm-mm.
Right.
But I can still have access
Right.
to it through my city email.
Okay.
I tried to
Send it to
add
me.
you, but
kcummings@a2gov.org. It didn't work.
yeah, it says since you didn't have a Gmail, but it's like some other people don't. So
I'll
it's
send
like,
you my other Gmail.
Okay, thank
But I don't either, but I got you.
Yeah.
But
Like,
you
it was
probably
only one
have,
that-
probably have.
Like I can try again right now.
I
Don't
think
do it.
they can
No.
usually
Don't
view
do it.
like individual documents,
I'll
but
give you
not
my Gmail.
like the whole thing.
Yes, individual documents, yes, but like a drive, no. But I'll give you my other Gmail, and I'll have access to it. and we'll go that way.
Okay, let's do that.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
This is
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you.
big thing. Complaint handling meetings, just how have they gone?
Ad hoc when we have after one of these meetings, if people want to talk about a particular complaint, we talk about it. That's pretty much what's going on.
And we were going to have, at some point, we were going to have sort of a complaint handling training, remember, once a year kind of thing.
We did talk about that.
I don't know when.
A year ago, we talked about that. We haven't developed that. I'm not really sure what utility that would have. I think
Yeah.
it's more like case specific. We have our checklist that applies that everyone should use for every complaint, and then it's really kind of depends on the complaint. I'm not sure there's a generic training that would be of great value, but if people want it, we can do it.
Our complaints are very different from one another. It's
Okay.
really hard to make
So
generalizations.
the only thing I can see is pulling out some old ones and just saying what we did with them,
That
explaining what the
could be
facts
very
were,
useful.
and more like,
You can do that.
this is how we handled it. But it's the spring, whenever, in the spring sometime. But
We'll set a date and
Yeah,
we'll do
okay.
that. That sounds
if you think it's useful.
In the spring. One of the things that might be useful for us is if we could look at some of those old cases and get something that we can talk about publicly to give people an idea of the kinds of things they could come to us with, the kinds of things we've seen before. I think that they don't know. And I would like, if people do have complaints, that they have the wherewithal to figure out that we're probably the ones that should talk about, they should come to. So if we would get an idea, I think that would be a useful thing to do.
Well, I think I might have brought this up before. I put it in that form that Vanessa made, but when I was tabling at Juneteenth, the ICPOC had these really cool cards. I'm sure you've all seen them, yeah.
Yes.
And they're laminated and they're really
Yes,
nice.
they are.
About the 8 things police can't stop you for or whatever.
Yes.
So and people were taking them I was like, if,
I took a couple.
yeah.
Have you not been over this? I raised this 3 months ago, right?
Yeah.
They're fabulous.
Yeah, they're really nice.
They're
So if we could
fabulous.
have a card that says things people could come to us about.
Yes,
They are
If
fabulous.
we
the
could
challenge
figure
would
out
be
how to say it.
fitting
Yeah, that's what
But
I
if
figured
somebody
too.
wanted to work on that would be great.
No, it wasn't.
It would take,
It was not. I tried.
it would,
It wasn't received. So maybe you let me know what people want to see on the card, and I'll take another stab at it.
Point of clarification, not the
I thought you did
business
the
card.
business card.
No, I
no,
was
the
trying to do
other
the
cards.
other cards,
Oh,
and
I
I thought
didn't see
people were, it was a budget issue at one point, right? That we
Point
didn't
of
budget.
clarification. So HRC does not have its own sole budget.
Right.
You guys can request things.
Right.
We
You
could
guys will have
request
to. You guys will have to
Absolutely.
request
Okay.
Aisha or Chris.
No,
Yeah.
Once
we
you
could get
guys
a card
have the
like this, we could
design
get
of the
permission.
card,
We'll get money.
you guys just need to email them to see if that's something that they're able to do for you all.
Great, because that's why I was stuffing stuff on the card, because we couldn't afford to do
Yeah.
the laminate card.
Right.
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, it was like, oh, well, let's put as much stuff as we can, since they will pay for these, right?
Yeah.
No, you give out the card and then you ask for a quarter.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. They're great.
Each card probably costs more than a quarter ounce.
Just a phrase.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it
kidding.
do cost.
Joking.
It costs some money, so.
Yeah.
Well, I think what that means is that we need to get together, some people need to get together and just sort of understand what people are coming to us with.
Yeah.
What kinds of things have been useful and what kinds of things that they haven't come to us with that they should. Yes.
I mean, we have the flyers, so it's the thing is people don't want to take paper, but they did. So, but I don't know if they were taking the laminate cards because they want to know the reasons they can't be stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be taking our laminated cards any more than they would be taking our flyers.
I think that's fair.
It's a different thing.
I just
I
don't
just
know.
keep
I
it in
just
my
don't know
car.
though.
From ICPOC, it's just in my car, so I can always refer back to it.
Right.
But yeah,
I just-
depends on the
I
person.
think we have seen certain kinds of information
Yeah.
that people do want, like
Yeah.
source of income, right? To prove that, yes, there is source of income protection, right? Like housing first.
But no one knows what that term means. I mean, we know. People don't, that source of income doesn't mean anything until you have a problem.
So you would say vouchers or whatever.
Yes, I wasn't trying to
You're right,
word
right,
it. Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it seems like that people clamor for those two in particular.
Well, right now, hasn't
Well,
always been that way.
Yeah, it's true. And the one thing people were most interested in, I found, was the right to sit. They didn't know about that.
To sit, very good.
That
So-
could be the card.
Do we have-
Information about right to
Right
sit.
to
enough?
sit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right to sit
I mean,
card,
even
separate
if it's,
card.
it doesn't have to be everything, I guess,
Right.
is what
No,
we're
but
saying. We can pick the things that are new or that we want people
But you want to pick
know.
enough so that it's broad enough that people would think, oh, I think they can deal with it.
Right.
I mean, I like the idea of targeting,
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
you know, the less on the card,
Right.
yeah.
And plastic, or for us, maybe something that's magnetic, that they could just put on
I know
there.
the magnet is
Too
more
much.
expensive,
Yeah,
right?
Stick with the plastic. Too
You say there's a cap on that, right?
I'm just, hey, so, point of information, ICPOC's driving equality cards, they were ordered in a bulk, I think were 2,500.
How bulk of how many?
2,500.
500.
Really, only
Tea.
500?
500 or
Well,
2,500?
but they're
No,
also
$2,500.
colors.
Because we,
$2,500?
I believe so, I'm
For
not,
how many?
500?
That's expensive.
Get some volunteers.
$5
Something.
a card?
Get crafty.
Buy a
Yeah,
laminating machine.
Get HRC cards. There you go.
No way.
Got to find a different vendor.
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get a laminate machine off
We
Facebook.
could
Mark,
do
like
that.
pictures, and I love, oh, Peter Cowan card, now that's rare and valuable.
Oh, I like that. Have the members on it.
Yeah.
I love that. So, trade them like,
Baseball card.
yeah, like baseball cards.
Bubblegum, yeah.
Okay.
School of Social Work project.
Yes, research questions to suggest a social work project.
Those are all included in you guys' packet.
You have
Thank
it.
you.
I can tell you that the last batch of social work things, the things that happened last fall, was it, or last winter? I don't even remember. That group chose a lot of their own. They didn't, and they had evidently some topics that came up from other classes. And so I don't know how much you're going to use, but I said I would be there if they wanted me next week, and I would be there, and I can promote. And I did talk to ICPOC, who still wants something about police, and I talked to Disabilities Commission, Zach Damon, and he's got something, and I'm going to call Rosanette, who's in the mentors.
Rosanita.
Rosanita? Thank you. Who's in the Renters Commission, to see if they have anything else.
So the professor hasn't seen these yet.
This is from 2024.
Oh, these are the old ones. Oh,
Yes.
I see. Okay. So these are the same ones that were proposed.
Yes, so this is what I gave them last time. I just want to give you an example of what I'm giving them.
So from our point of view, we don't really want them to do the same ones.
We don't,
Like,
Unarmed response
Unarmed
has been
response
done.
has been done.
Yeah.
Right. We kind of know
Right.
the deal on that.
I know one topic that I've been looking into for some outside stuff that I'm involved in is policing of homelessness. So, and also just like the environment piece of how they're changing, whether it's like benches or whatever else, and changing how that's designed so it's not, people aren't able to stay there asleep as well too. So they're looking into those different, whether it's like different policies or I don't know. I think that's just like an interesting thing to think about, of just how we're designing the city to
facilitate or to eliminate.
yeah, because it's like yeah, because it's like if they don't have
If there are no benches, they're going to be on the lawn,
yeah, so
the sidewalk.
and then they could potentially get fined or arrested for that. So I think that might be something of interest. And I know like on larger scales in other states as well too. That's been a larger growing conversation.
Homelessness is going up,
Yeah.
so I think it's important.
And then earlier it was suggested the impact of discontinuing gender-affirming care for minors. What
Yes.
impact is that having? Or will that have?
Yes, definitely. And then the other thing I'd add is I know you've got this promoting fair practices in renting. It would be interesting for us to know about what's happening with vouchers and whether landlords know that they have to accept them and whether people are being discriminated and they're not being accepted. I mean, we kind of need to know that. We get occasional complaints. Mostly it's people feeling like they're being treated differently because they're using source of income. Initially it was because they're using vouchers, Initially it was landlords not accepting them when this first was redefined in our ordinance. But now we haven't gotten those, but that doesn't mean, it just might mean that people don't know that landlords aren't allowed to say no to vouchers. We don't know.
But it's a sign. I mean, the fact that we used to get those complaints and now we're not. Now we're getting
It is a
complaints
sign.
about people who are on vouchers and
Right.
feel like they're being treated differently because
Treated
of that.
differently.
Yeah.
So it's a clue.
It's a clue. Although there's still, yeah, right. I mean, the big landlords know, but we don't know about the small one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so if somebody is going to do fair practices in renting from our point of view, it would be good to know about source of income discrimination, to the extent it's out there.
I feel like with that is, I'm kind of hearing like a bigger topic too of just kind of like the community education of like how do people even learn about this, and both the people that make the complaints are landlords and things of that nature. So I think I definitely agree with you that would be helpful to know.
Yeah. And it really varies. There have been renters who've come to us and said they're holding the ordinance with them so that if somebody says you can't, they say, see, I can. But whether that's effective or not isn't clear. And that's one smart person. It doesn't necessarily mean.
But then a laminate card.
Well, that's
I mean,
Yeah.
a QR code to
yes.
to that ordinance.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I had a quick question. For the complaints, is there anywhere or like in the process to like ask how they learned about HRC and the ordinances? I'm curious, like how do people just hear in general?
Wow.
That's a good question. Usually you find out from talking to them.
Yeah.
I think I do.
It's not on the form.
It's not on the form.
So I feel like that would be something interesting to see, like what's
Very
working,
interesting.
and then maybe like that's something that we can hopefully invest more in, or if we think that something else is getting those results, but it's actually not, then yeah, it might just help shift certain efforts. But I think the data piece is really important to make sure that we start collecting that as well.
It's a good idea. It would mean changing those, adding a question to all the online forms, which would have to be done through IT.
Okay.
Or we could make a point of asking and making a note, but it would be better to have it collected just on the form itself, right?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Kennedy, do we agree that should be done? Did you space out?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Brandon suggested maybe adding a question on our complaint forms, the online complaint forms. I guess there are now 3 of them. There's a right to sit, there's the
Housing and then discrimination.
Yeah.
Just like how did you find out
How
about
did you
HRC or
learn?
this service or?
Just something really simple.
that's it.
We can talk about what the framing should be, but if Nick could add it somewhere like at the bottom, not at the top,
Could I see?
about how people learned about it. then
Yeah, just have some options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it like on
If
other
you-
It doesn't even have to have
stuff.
options. I think just a blank.
Just like, how
Yeah.
did you hear?
Yeah, how do you hear
Yeah.
about this
Okay.
complaint process or
Yeah.
something?
I can ask Nick tomorrow.
That'd be great.
I can send. Do you want to send? I can.
Can you send me something?
Yeah, I'll send a question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. You're busier than I am. Okay.
So we've got a couple of research questions. Is that all? Is that enough? It probably is enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Finally, what's next? I can tell you I'm going to start writing the annual report for 2024
Thank you.
because it's getting to the end of 2025. I don't want to be too far. What else? I didn't have a note about why I put that there, and I can't remember. That's not good. So I think we don't know what's next. But we are done we have finished except for
I think what's next is Commissioner
communications.
Communications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a communication?
Any communication?
Does anybody? No one ever did.
Okay.
You know, communications could be things that are interesting that we all might want to go to, and there's some of those. But I don't think I know of anything offhand. They could be just telling us something that you're doing that we'd be interested in. Anything you want to say?
I guess I could share 2 things from my job that are happening right now that maybe we could share out about. Do you guys know what the Ann Arbor affordable housing waitlist is?
Waitlist.
So there's pretty much all the new developments that happen downtown. There's a number of apartments that are set aside that are below market rate. Honestly, they are still not that affordable. But for right downtown in a brand new high rise, they're pretty affordable. And we're still recruiting for the brand new development. I think it's on the corner of Washington and State or something. Washington and Huron or something. And it's called The Legacy. We still have 9 units that need to be filled. The rent is $1,700 a month. That's a lot.
For
Yeah.
That's affordable?
I think it's for a 1-bedroom.
That's more than
Yeah.
I pay.
Right.
Funny.
It's but I'm sure market rate for those apartments is probably
Right.
25.
Oh my goodness.
But you have to make under $70K, which is also not that much, to qualify for the apartments. But you can also have 2 people living in your apartment, and together you can make under $80K, and then housing choice vouchers are also accepted, so that can supplement. Yeah, right. It's not great, but
That's really not great.
yeah, that's Ann Arbor for you, right? But so if you know of anyone that's looking for an apartment that might qualify for those apartments, there's obviously high turnover because we get like students in them, so I think we're trying to get more like working individuals.
Are they year lease type things?
It's a year lease, yeah, and like, you have the option to renew, and your price won't change or anything like that. And then also,
How do they do it? Who do they contact?
so there's someone in my office whose job is managing it. I can email you guys, but the
Want to
website.
just
No,
say
yeah,
for
you've
the
got it.
television?
Oh yeah. The website is AnnArborWaitlist.com, and you can find all the information on there. It's also run through my office and the city of Ann Arbor, so it's a joint between the 2 of us. So
How is that different from this is just for the just housing commission apartments?
No, these are private.
yeah, they're
owned.
private apartments.
These are privately owned apartments.
Right.
But this was when the city was requiring these developers to set aside a certain number.
I'm assuming.
And
And then
I don't think they do
Oh, I
that so
see.
much anymore.
the city, my office manages who gets the apartments.
Right.
So like there's someone in my office who goes over the applications and like matches people with the apartments, because there's 5 different places around here that all have apartments set aside.
So if you apply, you get put in one that somebody in your office chooses, not one that they choose.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some preference room, but right now there's only one development that has apartments
Oh,
open.
I see. So,
Yeah, and there were the rent was ranging. It was like $1,250 to $1,700, but all of the $1,250 ones are
They're gone.
taken. Yeah.
guess so.
So now we're only left with the $1,700 ones. Yeah.
What was the other thing?
We're having a job fair. There's this org called the Job Developers Alliance, and their whole thing is that they help people, or they try to help people who are typically having a harder time getting employed, people who have criminal records, people who are maybe on the spectrum, like all that kind of stuff, homeless people. And they have like an annual job fair every year, and it's September 28th. At Washington Community College. But in case you guys run into anyone who needs to go to a job fair.
Do you know, have any idea how many people go to one of those?
Like employers or just people in general?
Either.
I think usually there's around like 20 to 30 employers, and I think they usually have around like 100 attendees.
That's important.
Yeah, I'll email you guys all like the flyers for both of those things.
Thank you.
Those are two things we're like actively trying to get out right now.
Great.
So.
You're doing good work.
Yes, you are. What is your office?
The Office of Community and Economic Development.
Aha.
I guess I can also share it wasn't $2,500. I was wrong. I looked it up. That's why I was kind of distraught. I was trying to find it. Yeah, it's less than that, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right, good.
I guess for the people watching, let me find the information about the job fair in case people. It's on September 23rd from 1 to 4 at WCC Morris Lawrence.
Okay, great.
Any other communications? Any other things?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.